All right, all right, all right. Stream starting. How's it going, everybody? Y'all doing great? I'm having a good time. Welcome back to another Blackfish AI live. Today I'm planning on taking a little bit of a break from our current little pet project, shall we say. The Clan Blackfin project, where we create rock music with about orcas using AI. We're using a custom GPT of my own design, along with Suno. And once it's done, we're going to throw it on Bandcamp as my first album and see where it goes from there. Pretty exciting, but you know, today I'm planning to take a little bit of a break and kind of just have some fun here, okay? What I want to do is, and I've been wanting to do this for some time now, but I've never really had time to actually commit to doing it all right. And so this is what we're gonna do, because what I've always wanted to do is make a custom Pokemon region. Okay. And tonight we're going to use ChatGPT to build a custom GPT that does that. Okay. So should be a lot of fun. Should be fun. We're not gonna bother with my usual 6-prompt framework today. I think, as powerful as it is, I don't think our use case is going to fit neatly within it, and I say that mainly because we're going to have to instruct it to imitate official Pokemon art style, and the current 6-prompt framework doesn't support that kind of functionality. I've done my research with custom GPTs, and you know, you can do that with custom GPTs as long as you are not, you know, there's some very fine lines there. You know, you can't name a specific artist, you can't give it examples to study, that kind of thing, but you can describe the style in words for it to imitate, because that's basically, at that point, you know, what really separates it from when you're normally asking it to generate an image, you know? We also want it to mimic the character design principles, naming conventions, etc. of classic Pokemon. So that's kind of what we've got planned for today. To start us off, I am gonna ask ChatGPT to, I'm building a custom GPT to help me create custom Pokemon. To get us started, describe the art style for official Pokédex art used from 2013 to present. Because the original Ken Sugimori style, I don't know if you guys know your Pokemon history, but Pokemon used the original Ken Sugimori art style from the beginning up until 2013. That's kind of when they switched to the Pokédex art style that you see now. So used from 2013 to present. in as much detail as you can. Also, describe common mistakes people make when trying to imitate this art style, because we want it to think like a true expert at this, you know? And so I want it to critique other people. Describe common mistakes people make when trying to imitate this art style. Then I should probably also say, give me a percentage score representing your confidence in these assessments given that you can't see examples besides searching the web. Take great care not to name, well, I guess we don't really care if it names specific artists, because we can just take that out when we build the custom GPT. I feel like asking it to avoid naming artists is going to be too much work. So yeah, you know what? Let's start with that. No other official... I changed my mind. No other official Pokemon art style applies. Because there's a couple of other art styles that it could pick up on. It could use the pixel art from the classic Nintendo DS games. It could pick up on the 3D art style we see on the Switch. It could even assess, Pokemon card art, which isn't necessarily the same style every time. I'm pretty sure they even use claymation for some Pokemon cards. Not too commonly anymore, but they used to. So, you can't see examples before searching the web. Yeah, let's start with that. Ooh, okay. And thinking longer for better answer. I like it. Do you guys wanna take some guesses, like what basis I want to use for my region? All of the canonical ones are based on real world places. For example, Alola is based on Hawaii, and Galar is based on, I believe, Britain specifically, but it's definitely Europe in that general vicinity. Anyway. I wonder what place Uneva's based on. In fact, let's look it up. What part of the world is Uneva based on? I've always been curious about this. The greater New York City metro area in the US, which is a departure from the earlier Japanese-inspired regions. That's interesting. And it does answer kind of the question I had as to why Unova is such a unique region. I guess that makes sense why they called it Unova, even United States Unova. Um, I'm also curious about Hoenn. Hoenn and Unova were my two absolute favorite regions as a kid. Um, Primarily based on the Japanese island of Kyushu and the surrounding smaller islands. Oh! Oh, that's why their legendaries are based on water and fire and, earth. That kind of thing. That makes a lot of sense. Of it being like based on an island. Come to think of it, the Univin legendaries, Reshiram and Zekrom, it makes a lot of sense on them being like black and white, because we're known for thinking in black and white. us Americans. Um, you gotta love those country stereotypes. Although it does make me sad that Unova it never gave us a cheeseburger Pokemon. Come on, guys. Where's our cheeseburger Pokemon? Come to think of it, it also makes sense that their like Route 1 bird was based on a generic pigeon. ChatGPT. Yeah. Yeah, that was Pidove. Alright. New chat. Oh yeah, we need to go back down to Pokedex art style details. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Tight practical breakdown of the official Pokedex art style used from 2013. Yo, that was from... Wow. I had no idea that X and Y came out as far back as 2013. That's like 12 years ago. Holy cow. The modern 2D key art you see on Pokédex sites, press kits, and species pages. Yep. Starting with Gen 6 in 2013, introduced X and Y and the modern era. Since then, the official species artwork isn't by a single hand. Interesting. Clean digital inking with moderately weighted outlines. Weight subtly increases on shadowed or overlapping edges. And thins on light-facing contours. Outlines are posing camera. This is very in-depth. I like the idea of having a custom GPT with all this as instructions. Ooh, pure black-white extremes. That's important. That's something that threw me off a lot while because I tried imitating the Pokemon art style a couple years ago, and I think I did a pretty good job. I don't think it was bad by any standard, but it certainly could have been improved upon. Tracing the 3D model, yeah. No shape grouping. Okay. This is good. This is good. Nah, let's keep them as is, cuz I think they'll work as prompt rules just on their own. I don't want to distill down too much of the details. Perfect. Now let's focus on more conceptual parts of a Pokemon. Research the most common aspects of similarly to how you created this style guide, now create a guide to Pokemon's character design principles. Focus on things like color theory, palette design, shape language, and proportion. Also, focus on things like color palette, shape language, and proportions. Also, do create a list of numbered steps to guide the user from vague idea to finished product. I should say finished design. This is a lot harder than I was envisioning this. Create a list of numbered steps to guide the user from vague idea to finished design based on Pokemon's design philosophy. All Pokemon are based on things, but the best ones aren't simply cartoon animals. I want to make that distinction. The steps should include brief descriptions of conventions to create a Pokemon's name and Pokédex entry. They should both guides should be flexible and able to adapt to a wide variety of ideas. Because Pokemon is home to a wide variety of creatures. You know, you have very basic things like, you know, normal type birds, and then you have crazy things like dragons that turn into motorcycles. So, you know, we want it to... Oh, here we go. Simple readable silhouettes, good. Elemental identity through shape. Good. Palette limit, usually... Yeah. Head to body ratio skews larger than real animals, especially for early stage Pokemon. Okay. Best designs are blended concepts, not just a cartoon fox, but a fox plus will-o'-the-wisp shrine motif. That's interesting. What? Is that like an actual Pokemon? I mean, I know they have, I know they've combined the Haunted Candle and Will-o'-the-Wisp idea. That's where the Litwick Chandelure line came from. So, a screwdriver Pokemon shouldn't just look like a screwdriver. It might embody twisting, boring behavior, or helper tool personality. twist or secondary theme. I like that idea. Decide types and role. Choose one or two Pokemon types that enhance the concept. Think about role identity. Cute starter, imitating pseudo-legendary, whimsical oddball. Yep. Shape language sketch, palette section, proportion and personality details. This is good. Oh wait, naming convention. Blend real-world words, sounds, and puns. Portmanteaus. Yeah, almost all Pokemon are portmanteaus. Onomatopoeia or sound symbolism. Yeah. Cultural references. Huh. Short, punchy, and globally pronounceable. 3 to 4 syllables max. Yep. Check against core principles. Oh, and it gave me a confidence score again. That's cool. Alright. Okay, great. No, I don't wanna do that. Well, let's see. Highlight a quirk of behavior, habitat, or powers. Blend a touch of naturalism with mystery or danger. Be short, evocative, slightly eerie, or odd at times. Huh. Interesting. Okay. And what was the other thing we wanted? Oh, wait. Wait, I think that was everything we wanted. Okay. Okay, cool. Perfect. Combine these 3 guides. Art style plus character design plus concept design into a system prompt for our custom GPT. Your character limit is 8,000 characters. Use markdown format to organize it into sections like role and task, and I would like to kind of guide it to format it in a similar way to R6 prompt framework, just to see how well it can do. I think now that we just like have these ideas out there, I think that would be a good way to format these. So your character limit is 8,000. Procedure input and output guardrails. We don't really have much in terms, we don't really have much need for a knowledge base, so I'm gonna skip that part. And then what else are we missing? Because prompt 1 is to warm up. We already did that. 2 and 3 are procedure and input-output guardrails. Oh, 4 is the LLM limitation defense clause. And then we have the knowledge base. Okay, so, and a notes section. Containing a brief notes to defend against weak LLM limitations like hallucination. As well as defend against security issues like users attempting to steal the GPT's system prompt. Take care to include as much detail from the original instructions guides as possible, but while making no mention of specific artists. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's fire it off. And while it's working on that, let's go ahead and load the drive, just so we can get a more precise character count. That way. Come on. Toyetic. I love that it actually used that word. I love it. Task and procedure. Input and output guardrails. Good. Oh. Condensed principles. Okay. You know what? Something else that I've noticed GPT-5 has significantly improved upon from its earlier models is its ability to monitor its own word count. See, usually when you ask ChatGPT to generate something in a certain amount of words, it could go completely any direction, because it will. Sorry, kind of blanked out for a second. Past models of ChatGPT were not very good at following instructions related to word counts and character limits, and that was because it didn't proofread its own work as much. It rather kind of just started and then kept going and then kept going and kept going. That's why it was always so wordy, because it really kind of didn't know when to stop, except for, when it just hit the token limit. And that's also why you had to be usually quite conservative with your word and character limits. You had to tell it, well over or well under what you were actually expecting, depending on the use case, because it was just so bad at checking itself in that aspect. And I found recently that if we go ahead and hit Control-Shift-C, by the way, that is the keyboard shortcut for checking words and characters in Google Docs. That's why whenever I want to know the length of something, I just paste it in a blank Google Doc and check it. You can see 60. And it said 7,700 characters. So, I mean, not perfect, but definitely closer than I've seen from past models. So, ooh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out. Actually, wait, no. I wonder if I can leave them in and just say, accept requests for designs that are based on something but are clearly meant to be original rather than knockoffs. In any case, I'm more worried about these clauses, just because the Pokemon region I want to do is based on pop culture. So, for example, the 3 starter Pokemon I want to have one based on Star Wars, one based on Harry Potter, and one based on Lord of the Rings. So, obviously that's going to be a big problem if my custom GPT is set up to decline those types of requests. Which makes sense if I was, sending this thing out for production to like the general public. But you know, I'm not doing that. Best combine anchors with twists. Avoid literalism, puns, portmanteaus, and sound symbolism in names. This this is significantly more shortened than I was hoping for. Okay. Yeah. That's not a big deal. Art style guidelines. Character design principles, conceptual workflow. Yep. That's good. Avoid just a cartoon animal. Yep. Decide types and role. Choose one or two Pokemon types. Yeah. Clarify role identity, starter, mascot, legendary, oddball, etc. Shape language, good. Palette design, good. Mid value. Yeah, here it is. Body base color is often mid value. Accents are darker or lighter for a visual pop. I want to keep that in because I like that little detail, and I think it will help to guide us toward good final products. Use complementary contrast for identity. Here. Usually 2 to 3 dominant colors, plus 1 accent, rarely more. Head to body ratio larger in early stages, smaller in final evolutions. I like that it made this distinction because the original guide, I don't know if you guys were reading along with that or if I even stopped long enough to let you guys, but yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm running out of time, and I want to try and make one of our pose conveys character. Good, this is good. Texture simplified into graphic clumps patches. Keys enlarged or stylized, or key features. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that. Art style conventions. think the bit about the pose, I really like it. Actually, how many characters are we looking at here? 5,800? Dude, we can add so much. Entry convention. Let's see. Oh, Pokédex entry convention. Yeah, here we go. I like this version of it. Listen, I know it's literally the exact same, okay? I know it's literally the exact same, but I like this one. Final check. Is silhouette iconic and recognizable? Is color palette bold, limited, and type appropriate? Is the concept more than cartoon animal? Yeah. Good. Output guardrails. Concept summary, type and roll. Concise but detail rich. Okay, yeah. I think we're ready to go ahead and try building our custom GPT. So let's go to the GPT library, hit create. This won't be an option that is available to free users. Wait, for real? Or no, whoops. Oh, I forgot all of the markdown formatting. Oh well. Oh well. It doesn't need that. Pokemon Creator. Use DALL-E. And this is going to call DALL-E to go ahead and make us a picture for the Pokemon Creator. This part of the process is always kind of fun. Because, you know, you never know exactly what you're going to get. And look at that. Look at the little guy. I'm not sure if I'll stick with him though. Let's try one more time. In my experience, it usually takes 3 tries or less to come up with a custom GPT picture you like. Huh. Okay. Now, is it going to let me create it is the question, because I say Pokemon a lot of times, in. It's only me. Yep. Only me. Can I? Whoa! It let me make it, guys. Check that out. Okay. I want to create a grass type starter Pokemon based on Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. It knows where Luke Skywalker's from. Come on, man. It should be a small, cute, panda named Skywalk. It's a little on the nose, but it's kind of a fun gimmick for the line. I want the line to go Skywalk, Skyrun, Skykiller, or perhaps Sky Bamboom would be a fun one, but I worry it'll sound too similar to Rillaboom. I also think Skykiller, I mean, it's a little too edgy for Pokemon, to be fair, but like the reference to Star Killer is kind of fun. Skywalk that pretends a little stick of bamboo is a sword. It's kind of just a fun little idea that I had. Thanks for the fun idea. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Base inspiration. Yeah, this is perfect. Starter. Yep. Shape language. Oh, perfect. It knows exactly what I'm trying to do. Color palette. Accent color. Pop color. Okay, okay. I was actually thinking some blue might be an interesting highlight color. Um, Both because it would just complement the green, and also because Luke's original lightsaber was blue. As a matter of fact, fun fact for Star Wars fans, the first time we ever saw a good guy with a lightsaber besides blue was in the battle over the Sarlacc pit in the Return of the Jedi. And that was when we found out that Luke got his green, he built his green lightsaber after losing his blue one in The Empire Strikes Back. Now, the reason that George Lucas wanted it to be green is because he worried that blue would kind of blend in with the sky, and he wanted to make sure that it could actually, stand out and the audience can tell what's going on, If it wasn't for that, one scene, we might still be in a galaxy full of blue lightsabers. I don't know though. I mean, the purple one came in just because Samuel L. Jackson wanted to be original in the prequels, and George Lucas was like, sure, whatever, let's do it. Pandual. Sup, Panda. I think I want to keep with Skywalk though. The bamboo cub Pokemon. It clutches the stick of a bamboo and swings it around a sword. Though clumsy, its determination inspires others, and trainers say it never gives up on a challenge. Oh, that sounds so Pokemon-like. That sounds perfect. Can you generate an image of it using the style information you have? And my hope is that it recalls, not just what we have talked about with this specific Pokemon, but also it's the style information that we have stored in its system instructions. That is the goal. So let's go ahead and hit that. And we're just gonna see what it does. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and... Oh, it's just... Okay. Cool. Cool. It's in a 1-to-1 ratio, so we know it's not gonna do anything crazy with the body proportions, which is, a good sign. It doesn't tell us anything much, really. All we really know is that... Okay. Oh, it puts the type up in the corner. I love this. Skywalk. I love him. I love him so much. I think... it does read as rather more generic clip art style than Pokemon style specifically. So, I don't know. I like what it was trying to do here, and it makes sense what it's trying to do here. I'm just not quite sure what to do. Maybe... I do also like that it kept the blue eyes. I didn't even ask it to do blue eyes. I was worried that would confuse it, and I kind of just wanted to see what it'd do from the start. So that's kind of fun. Great. Since this is a practice chat, I'm not too worried about like having something perfect. Great. Now let's design the character of its slightly mid-stage evolution. Skyrun has grown and adopted a black cloak. I don't really know what else I want to that I want to do with Skyrun's character design. So I'll give it this idea and kind of see where it goes. Skyrun. This is where grass starters usually start looking leaner, bolder, and show clear hints of their final role. Base inspiration, panda still, but now lankier teen-like proportions. Okay. Leafy black cloak, made of layered foliage, not actual fabric. That gives it a wandering swordsman vibe. Yeah. The cloak conveys speed, stealth, and the growing hero motif. Vibe is cool and adventurous, less baby-like, starting to look like a fighter in training. This is kind of like Luke Skywalker's own character arc in the original trilogy. He started out kind of, just swinging the lightsaber around, not really knowing what he was doing, and like by the time of Return of the Jedi, he was awesome. That man was hardcore. So let's see. Type and roll. Grass, mid-evolution starter, leaner, transitional, hints at possible grass fighting final stage. I don't know if I want its final stage to be grass fighting. Is there a perfect type trio in Pokemon like fire, water, grass? Sorry guys, I meant to look this up before the stream. Perfect type trio. Okay. Other perfect or near perfect trios include fighting flying rock and ground poison grass. Fighting flying rock. I thought for sure there was a trio with psychic and dark, wasn't there? Using psychic and dark. What would be the third type in that? No, the psychic fighting dark trio is not a perfect type triangle like fire, water, grass because dark is immune to psychic. Let's see, because fighting is super effective against dark. Psychic is super effective against fighting. And then dark is super effective against psychic. Isn't that right? Actually, we could use fighting as a final type for the grass starter. I know it's kind of samey, but we could use flying for water and rock for the fire. So, okay, yeah. Grass fighting, final stage. More angular than Skywalk, but not fully sharp, mixes around panda softness with a pointed cloak silhouette. Cloak flares out slightly, suggesting motion and running. Black leafy cloak. I I do worry the leafy cloak look, like, it sounds cool, but I worry it could look too much like Decidui. So, Clover Dash, Bambush. Skyrun, its leafy cloak allows it to blend into forests. It sprints from tree to tree, training with its bamboo stalk until it's ready for true battles. Ooh. Yes, please make an official style image. Make the cloak be smooth fabric, though I worry that well, no, I don't want to suggest those sorts of things to ChatGPT. I feel like referencing an existing Pokemon would confuse it. Give it a heroic edgy pose to show it off. Yeah. We'll start with that. We'll start with that. I do wonder what our final I do wonder what we should name our final stage, though, because Sky... I like the sound of Sky Bamboom, but I'm worried that could sound too much like Rillaboom. Actually... yeah, let's just do that. Call it Sky Bambush. Because, I mean, the Sarlacc pit was kind of an ambush. It was more an infiltration, but it definitely had the element of surprise. So, ambush wouldn't actually be that far off track. If we named it Sky Bambush. This is fun, guys. Are you having fun? I hope you guys are having fun. I do worry that it has insufficient instructions about the art style, although that could be easily fixed. And I think that could potentially give us more Pokemon official looking characters. Because right now, I mean, like, it's following the character design principles of Pokemon fairly well, but the style comes off generic, and I do not like that. I don't like it one bit. So, that's... this one's been going forever. wonder if we just opened this chat in another conversation, the image will already have loaded. Because the one of Skywalk was pretty the one of Skywalk was pretty fast. And oh, yep, something went wrong. I wonder if something will have already gone wrong by the time we go to load this new chat. Grass type starter concept. Oh, look at that! It's already given us... Yo. Alright. Now I've already got a decent idea of what I want Sky Bambush to look like. Attempting to reconnect. Please do. Please do. I would really appreciate if you reconnected, actually. Oh, I like how consistent it's, I like how consistent its character design principles are. That's really, really fun. That just puts a smile on my face. Oh. But we've still lost connection to the network. Come on. Come on. Refresh. I know you can do this. I know you're not the best laptop. I'm sorry. Sky Bambush. It's gonna happen right after this, guys. Oh, shoot. It's letting me send another message, but it's... Yeah, it's... I'm refreshing this again. Yeah, see, it always gets that far. Oh, it's still generating. Look at that, adding details. So, I guess we're not in some kind of glitched out, like, limbo state. That's what I was really worried about. To be fair, I really like how this custom GPT is handling consistency across its characters. I really did not expect GPT-5 to have evolved in that aspect from the last time. That is fun. For goodness sakes. ChatGPT.com. Oh, it really is taking a moment. Alright. Where's, yeah. I think we should stop there for the time being. Um, this is I was hoping that we could stick around long enough to see the final evolution for this line, Sky Bambush, but ChatGPT seems to have frozen. I wonder if their servers are down or something. But yeah, so enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next